Yup. Oh, yeah. Eagles wear boxes. Y'all know what it is. Let's get in here. Let's get to talking about. Uh huh. Yeah. So, good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Grand day to all the peoples out there that came in and spent a little bit of time to come see Eagles Web Boxing. Well, we talk about the real deal, because that's how we talk about it. We talk about the real deal. We don't play around, because there's no time to play. We talk about things as grown folk, and that's what I love about this is that we talk about stuff as grown folk. We don't talk about stuff as on regularly like another chat or another discussion or program. We try to go a little bit further with it, and we try to ask the questions about fighters, where they should be, things of that nature. I mean, we can't put them there, but we could talk about it. You know what I mean? We can't put them there, but we could talk about, where we feel like they should be, you know, because some fighters are in positions that, to be honest, I have zero control over it. But I would not probably have them, in the places that they are. I would be comfortable if they weren't there. And when I'm mentioning like some people that you would actually like they would call for you to um, buy the pay-per-view. A lot of times, I don't know. I wouldn't buy it, but I mean, if it's sellable and they're making the amount of money that they need to be making, then great. I have no problem. No problem. Because I'll still be, like I said, I'll still be laughing in the background, like, wow, I can't believe that they're. It must be something else going on. Hey, I'm a layman when it comes to, the contracts and all that, But for me, being advertising myself is I actually um, promote certain videos and stuff like that, and certain ways of advertising and promoting products. So I know a little bit because that's my profession. So I know. I mean, that's one of my professions. So I know a little bit about it. I I don't think that is that much different when it comes to um, sports or boxing or anything else. I'm quite sure that I'll have a small part or a small play in um, advertising for some sports, but yeah, I don't just don't do it that much. I don't know. Sometimes it's too demanding or something like that. But I have advertised, and done projects, and I've done work and parties and stuff for companies like Intel and stuff like that. So, you and they are very comfortable with me. So, what can I say? I'm having a yawner. Yeah. But we'll talk about these fights over this weekend. We'll just talk about them and Uh, and we'll talk about how we need certain shows. I don't. Some of the announcers. I went back and looking at the fight. Some announcers. I don't know. These analysts. They call them analysts now. Yeah, you see, everybody graduates. Everybody graduates with a different, a higher title or something like that. Yeah, like a custodian. Oh, it's custodian. But then you call some parents, you call them custodial parents. But a custodian used to be just a janitor. Oh, I'm a custodian. But now I don't even think they use the term custodian anymore. You're just a service provider, a janitorial service provider. You're not a janitor anymore. You're a cleaner, something like that. So you're based under a service now. So now you're part of not just a janitor. You would figure that people would get stronger, but that hasn't been the case. Um, yeah, because I was just looking at that what is it? What's his name? Uh, Abdul Raul. I was looking at him. It used to be Chris Jackson, but I was looking at his his dilemma, and it was it's the program's called the documentary, or whatever you might want to call it, is called The Stand, and you guys should take a look at it if you haven't taken a look at it. um, I think you would like it. um, I think that you would you would actually you're gonna get something out of it. And this goes to show, just like a lot of times what I'm trying to tell people, that a lot of people see, a lot of times you feel like you're getting the best, but you're not. You're not getting the best that you feel like you're getting a lot of times. Yeah. Yeah. You're not always getting the best, but you feel like you're getting the best. Some people have certain conditions and stuff, and you're sitting there thinking, "Oh, you're looking at a super athlete," but no, that guy, he's a super athlete. But look, he's actually a handicap, and you didn't even know it. But he's better than people uh, that don't have a problem. See, which that leads us to some of what I want to talk about. Besides these fights, it actually was a good uh, boxing show. Showtime had a good boxing show. Put it to you that way. They had a good boxing show, you know. And so I actually put down. I said, "Yeah, we need the show." Now I wasn't in. It was no pun intended or nothing like that, or no cap or whatever you might want to call it. But it's like I want to see, great fights, and if these so-called fighters, the ones that everybody is gravitating to, if they're not going to show and tell, if they're not going to show, then we'll watch the fighters that we want to watch. We'll just watch. Well, not okay. So the fighters I kind of messed that up a little bit. Well, I explained it right, but let me clarify it a little bit more. So the fighters that we want to see fight, if they're not going to fight, or if they're going to have lackluster performances, if they're going to look like crap, then we don't necessarily want to see them. If you remember what I said in the beginning, when we started doing this boxing chat. What I said in the beginning, everybody was saying that we need to see the best fight the best. No, no, not necessarily in that order. Not necessarily. I'm telling you. I've always maintained that we need to see the best fight matches, or the best fights, the best matchups. I don't really care if I get what you call the cream of the crop, because they might not be. You know what I mean? They might not be, and I might not want to see them. Knock my phone down. Let me pick this up. We might not want to see them, because it's like, yeah, that's you've been fighting. You're a garbage fighter. We just watched a guy that arguably. Hold on, just 1 second. I can still talk, but I just don't like. I don't like for y'all not to see me. That arguably beat Adrian Broner, and we watched him fight Mario Barrios, right? And he was giving him a tough time for a while, you know, and then I guess Mario's strength kind of showed that he's getting stronger at that weight class. A lot of us might not want him to get stronger at that weight class, but he got strong. He's getting stronger. He's going to get stronger at that weight class. It's not going to just stay the same. It's going to get stronger. So just be prepared for that. And all the fortune for him.
Oh, that juice hit the spot.
And the juice did hit the spot. My charger. My phone is set up to say that. Yeah, I programmed it to say when I plug it up, I know it's plugged up to a charger when it says that juice hits the spot. Even though it's plugged up to a weak charger, I can't stand this charger. I don't like the phone. iPhones are just all trash. All phones are trash. They put too much. They put too much into them. But back to what I was saying. So I myself personally, I don't know what your sentiment is, but I want to see I want to see good fights. I'm sitting there watching a good fight. I'm gonna tell you that the fight that I have up on the screen right there, the Canelo versus Bivol. It wasn't a good fight. When I'm talking about like a fight, it was a good one-sided fight. But it wasn't like a good fight, you know. If you was a fan of Canelo, I mean, you can always have excuses. But remember, he knocked out Kovalev, and Bivol is not supposed to be. He ain't no big puncher. And he knocked off Kovalev, right? So, what can we say about that? There. Then he comes back, lackluster fight that looks like. This don't look like he was cowering like a little kid, like he was cowering like the thing about Canelo that everybody's gonna make him elite. When he doesn't have answers, he just doesn't have answers. When he doesn't have answers of how to beat you, he will never get the answer, even if his corner gives him the answer. It is not gonna register because he feels like I'm the man. If I'm not getting it done, then I don't know. Nobody can tell me how to get it done. And you can argue if you want to. But if he can't get it done, he just can't get it done. Canelo said he will beat him now. He gonna get the dog shit beat out of him. That's just but salute to Sir Flame. He's just running his mouth just so he can come in and basically he's doing another hype thing. You know, I want to hype everybody up. That's all he wants to do is just hype it up. Canelo's stupid. He's actually a comedian to me. He's a comedian. He's a tainted beef eating comedian. That's it. I don't respect him as a person as much. As a fighter, okay, but as a liar and full of shit, I don't respect him because I think he's a liar. I think he's a liar, and I think there's a lot of liars in boxing. A lot, a lot. Because we watch you. We watch what you do. We listen to your words, and then we watch what you do. And once we see what you do, then we know you ain't. We know you're an ain't shit fighter or ain't shit person. And some people just like that. I'm just reading this little statement that they said that Earl, Earl Spence, he went off on he went off on some trainer. It's not his trainer, but he went off on some trainer for talking bad about Raleigh sparring, and that's what I said anyway. I said, if you guys gonna make it open season, if it's gonna be open season for Raleigh, that means it's open season for everybody. When it comes to the rest of the sport, it's open season. You know how we do it. Is we'll try to go with the flow, but then if you're gonna change up, like if you're gonna sit there and change, you understand? Then you make us change too. If we're keeping it consistent, we're doing stuff one way, and we're like, okay, we're gonna be respectful for that. I don't have to. In Eagles Way of Boxing, we don't have to be so cordial with everybody. This is not that kind. This ain't that kind of a venue. We get a little bit raw sometimes. Sometimes we get giddy. We get boisterous in here. But what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna sympathize with you if you're a mouthpiece. If you're just a running around walking mouthpiece, then nobody cares about you. You just a running around walking mouthpiece, then whatever you get in here, that's what you get. And speaking of get, let me read out, or let me recite what my brother is saying right here, and that is Sir to the Flame. He said, salute to Eagles Web, salute to the chat. He said, and as always, he said, jab that like button on your neck. He said, don't get neck in Eagles Way of Boxing. He got the fire up good with that 100. You got that glove up. Of course, you got to finish off, brother. It's always them things. That's right. I'm representing, got my button on today. My American Indian movement, I got that. Got everything going on. My damn shirt was dirty, brother. My shirt was dirty. I got to wash my shirt. It's not filthy. It's not stinky. I could wear it, but just the idea of taking it out of the clothes, I just don't want to. So I got to wash my last super. Hey, I got to wear my shirt 3 years out of 4, man. Kansas City, I got to wear my shirt 3 years out of 4. And I can almost guarantee you I'm going to wear it more. Mahomes, oh my good, 27 years old quarterback. How many quarterbacks, think about it. He won a Super Bowl before they're talking about he's 27 now. When did he win his first Super Bowl? How old was he? Was he only 24 or 25? I think he was probably the youngest quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Because think about it, you get out of college, you're like 21, 22, right? So, but then a couple of years into the league, Super Bowl champ. I told you I was going to be a winner anyway. I tried to tell y'all. Sorry for my bad, Eagles. I'm still listening, but back to work. Oh, okay. All right, you get your work in, brother. If you could type in a couple of words, then type them in. You can give Derek Bailey, if he can finally make it in, then you can give him a hard time. Because we ain't seen him in a couple of shows, it seemed like. And he's been the first one come in looking at his clock. I don't know, man. My people, man, y'all thin. You guys are thinning out on me. Lala D, you're thinning out. Every once in a while, Mr. Gumble, man, we've seen Jay Brown. Haven't seen Jay Brown in forever, and Jay Brown came through. I'm like, wow, Jay Brown came through. Michael Johnson's Boxing Talk and more. He'll come through. D. Ray, we haven't seen him. We haven't seen Super Def. A lot of my people that frequent, at least like I got my everyday guys that come in all the time. Like Sir Flame comes in. Yal Sir usually tries to come in. Even Ryan O'Rourke usually tries to come in. Derek Bays usually tries to come in. Lala D, we get her every once in a while. We get D-Lo 404 every once in a while. All in my estimation, pretty decent people. And I'm happy, that this forum goes the way that it does. Yeah, well, yes, of course, we could use a few more people. Not a crowd. Far as like adding me to their list, yeah, we could use a lot. But visiting, no. Visiting maybe 30. I don't think there's 1,000 people that have great boxing opinions. I'm sorry. I mean, they have boxing opinions, but I just don't think there's really 1,000. To be honest, you got all these different platforms for all these people that with these voices, and I'm not talking about people that's in boxing is different, but just people, just that just come in. I just don't think we have that many people, and maybe thousands low, but we just don't have a lot, and that's for real, So. I'm sorry. There's somebody like, me, you don't know shit about boxing, Eagle. They start crying, F you, Eagle. They get mad at Eagle. Don't get mad at Eagle. I'm just saying. Okay, so right before I was right before I was getting into my career, I had like some stupid shit happen to me. And right before I was about to get into my career, which was started kind of late because of military. And then, so I actually ended up going back because of, situations that were not in my control. And I was probably needed some more discipline. I'm a hothead. I still am, to a certain extent. But when I went to go, and so I watched this show, I watched on Showtime. That came out last month. And I suggested everybody would take a look at it. And I found that some of the problems that he was having, I actually have. And didn't even know it. I was like, shit, I got those kind of problems. Didn't know. All this time, never was diagnosed, nothing like that. But I just more or less self-diagnosed myself. I'm like, okay. Because I know I got the excessive compulsive disorder. I know I got that. Well, I'll do shit over and over again. And not that I told you guys about my cleaning habit. Nothing has nothing to do with that. But I'll just tell you something personal. Is that I'm a counter. I count fucking everything. I just count. I can't stop myself from counting everything. It's like, fucking, I'm like, why am I counting? I count everything. It's like, I just do. I just count shit. I had to, it took me a long time when I was a kid. It took me a long time to stop counting. That's why military worked for me. Because I count every freaking thing. Like I can be brushing my teeth and count. I'll count all my, how long, my breaststrokes and all that. Or I'll count, even putting something on, like putting lotion. I'm looking, making sure that it's even. And how you put stuff in your hand, then you can go like that. You don't have to worry about it. But shit, if I was going to put lotion on 2 different spots, I'd put the same exact amount in the palm of my hand. Like my eyes can actually see shit. I can measure stuff. That's probably why I'm good at baking stuff and making stuff. I remember the ingredients and stuff. But anyway, it's about the life of Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, basketball player. I would say he was a better scorer than Jordan. I would say he was more consistent as far as shooting when he was at his best than Michael Jordan. And people say Michael Jordan is the GOAT. But he went through some things when this country was so-called going through problems. And it was more or less about the flag. And what people don't understand is the Star Spangled Banner. They don't even say that they don't even say, and which was brought up in this documentary a few times. It kind of blew over my head a few times, but yeah, somebody brought it to my attention before that it's not even that they're not even covering the whole thing. When it comes to the Star Spangled Banner, they're not covering the whole thing, because part of it talks about slavery and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, and my estimation is not true in the first place, because um, when you take something from somebody, um, and then you try to turn around and claim it as being yours, then how many more of your stories can I listen to and feel that your stories are actually, stories that are legitimate stories of when I say stories, I mean like stories of truth. I always start to slump down in this chair. I was thinking, I said, sure, I should bring my stool up in here, but I'll be sitting up too high, and then I'll have to change the computer if I'm sitting up that high. Yeah. But you need to look at that story, man. And I just felt it hit me, like, it really hit me hard to just look at, certain people go through their life and we struggle with certain stuff. And it started making me think that, that's was part of my struggles, was some of the stuff that my mom didn't even really know. And I told her one time. And she was wild. She said, yeah, because I told her, I said, yeah, I said, I said, Mom, you don't even know. I used to count everything. And I just would quit. I get so tired of counting. Because I used to see, in my school, I used to see like so many holes in the ceiling because that was the pattern that they made. And I wanted to estimate at least, even if I didn't count every one, I wanted to estimate exactly how many was up there. Like I always have to know the number of something. Like, what's the number? How many is this? I have to know the number. And then when I start doing science and math, there was nothing. A lot of stuff came in thirds and points and all that, and I was like, I can't see it. I mean, the math, I can get the math part of it done. I could get all that done, but then I couldn't see it. I'm like, I don't know. I can't really see. Like when it comes to division, I can't really see. And then because we come up with numbers like 33 and a third, 33.3. It's like, that's a percentage. But at the same time, it's a third. And it only works if you have odd numbers. It doesn't work when you have even numbers. You can't have a third of an even. Anything that's even, you can't really have a third of. You know what I mean? Except for, I think, I don't know if it's every other number or something like that, then you can have a third. Like anything that's in the sixes. Like say for a 6, you can have a third of a 6. Like the number 6. And then you got to go up 3 more numbers. You're back to an odd number, 9. And then you got to go up 3 more numbers. So anytime you go up 3 numbers, so 12, you can have a third of 12. You can have a third of 15. You can have a third of 18. You can't have a third of 16. But you have to add 3 to those numbers, right? So you got 12, 15, then you got 18. You know what I mean? That you can have a third of. And if you add 3 to that, you're up to 21. You can have a third of that. And then you add 3 to that, which is 24. Then you can have a third of that. Hope you understood what I was saying. He's just rambling on. He's just saying it's incoherent. No. It's just that stuff that I can't see like that. I just didn't. I'm like, yeah, it's not real. I'm like, that's not a real number. You can't. Those are the only things that frustrate me. So I always try to make stuff where I can just do half. Like, I can do half of that. Anytime I start messing with those third numbers, it's like, it screws me up. Okay, so let's get into the fights a little bit. So I'll talk about 3 of the fights. And what was kind of surprising for me is the style of the first fight. It was the style was kind of like it threw me off because the Ukrainian guy he was kind of fighting a little bit like Bivol. He was cracking me up though. He was kind of just trying to stand up and box. He was just like nothing real extra heavy, and nothing like light, but it's kind of medium punches. Every once in a while he'd get in like a good shot, but the way he was working, it could work if he had some steam on it. In this fight, it probably would have worked. But what happened with Vikhurst is that it just was not. It was just not good enough. His height, the reach was they were pretty close in reach. They were pretty close in height also. But his 1-2, he just keeping that 1-2 out there, and every once in a while getting he banging a little bit. I say when I seen he hit Peru, and so he hit Peru behind the head, more close to. So it was behind the ear, but it's good like a shot behind the ear. Those shots, those can become terrible knockout shots because they're bringing your head this way more or less, or they're twisting. It's like the pressure it's a lot of pressure, like right in the back of the head. Like if you hit here, you got a lot more cushion with your neck. If you hit here, you still got some cushion. If you hit here, you got a lot of cushion, but at the same time, you're taking a whole lot of pressure. But you're hitting back here, you're closer to like the cervical spine when you're hitting behind the ears. And so everything goes off what they call a lot of times they call it the primitive brain and stuff like that. So a lot of things are, hitting that, the stem, the brain, the stem. So you got things that are around the stem of the brain, and those punches really, they do a lot of damage. And so those actually were some of the punches that was the only punch I saw that made Peru actually stumble a little bit. He has kind of a crouchy type of, style. He's crouchy and pretty good. Sometimes he gets lazy with his right guard. He gets lazy with it. Well, he was getting lazy in this fight. I'm not saying he's always getting lazy because I can't remember if I've only seen him fight maybe once or something like that, maybe. So, but big shout out to him. Hopefully he'll step up the competition a little bit. They say he's never been down or something like that, but I can see another southpaw. Them Cuban southpaws, man, when they big like that, be careful. That's all I can say to you. If you're fighting one of them, watch out. Just be careful when you fight these guys because these guys are tough. But yeah, I didn't go into my whole. I had friends like years later. They said, "Yeah, man, we'll get you trained up, man." They wanted to get me. They wanted to get me in the. They wanted to get me, back in the boxing game so bad that they was like, "Yeah, let's get you out there, man." Because the dollars, it was just so much money, and they was like, "Yeah, man, we'll get you out there, man." Yeah. So I had one of my best friends from St. Louis or Kansas City, and another one of my friends from Brooklyn. Yeah, so. But we always dream and we always think it's, certain stuff, and then we a lot of times we let the opportunity or the situation we let it pass in our life, and we carry on and we do something else. And no matter what, you have to be accepting of what you did. You got to be proud of, not with pride, but just be happy that you were able to do. Anytime you can, stay on your feet, because anything can be taken, anything can happen to you. You can lose. I can lose everything that I have. I wouldn't even. To me, it wouldn't. It'd be a relief. I was like, cause I don't have shit. Be like, I ain't got shit. It'd be a relief. People say it's so depressing. Hey, you leave. When you finally leave it, you don't have. Even no matter what you have, you don't have it anyway. You leave it, and what if you don't even have anybody to leave it to? Now you just left it to people to say, oh yeah, this is all free shit that we get. He's not here no more. So we got a whole, we got tons of free shit, clothes, and look at these shoes. Look at this. People be laughing and throwing your shit out. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be here to see that, but that's what they do. They laugh. Oh, look at these shoes. Oh, this is funny looking. Look at this old hat. Look, me putting hats on and playing around. Like, yeah, look at this stuff. Oh, he got diamond over here. Shit, bling bling. I'm gonna take that. So just understand that some people understand, like me. I understand the BS.
Oh, that juice hit the spot.
And oh yes, that juice hit the spot. That's what, like I said before, my phone is programmed to say, "Oh, that juice hit the spot." I might change it, but I like that one. Oh, that juice hit the spot. Well, you have something to remind you when you charge. Kind of cool to have something that reminds you when you put it on charger. It's like, is it working? Is it plugged up? So that way you always know when you plug something up and you get a response like that. Oh shit, that ain't even plugged up. Because I was waiting for the lady to say she loved the juice. Or maybe that's what I'll put down there next time. Yeah, but we got more fights coming up this weekend. We'll talk about those in a little bit. We got a couple of I guess I'm interested in one of them. The Neri fight, I'm kind of interested in that one. And I don't know, we may have more fights than that coming up, but yeah. Yeah, but that shit, Showtime giving away, they had opportunity for you to win that tickets. And that's to go see Plant versus Benavidez. Oh shoot! Everybody want to see that? No, I don't even know, man. To be honest, even if they got on pay-per-view, I don't know. I'll probably have to watch the sneak preview afterwards or something, or watch it. So I might go somewhere and watch it. I don't know. It depends how much it is. It's just like that Super Bowl. I said, you know what? I was watching it on a live stream, but I said, you know what? I don't have the patience. Like some people are fans of sports. I don't have the patience anymore to sit there and watch a bunch of sports. I don't. So that's it. Sorry. You didn't watch the whole thing? Nah, I couldn't watch it. I just couldn't. It was getting, at times, like with boxing and stuff like that, I can usually watch a whole fight. Sometimes it might be a boring fight. But if it's boring, then I might not watch it. But what'll happen is I'll be mad. Because what happens is, all of a sudden it got exciting. I didn't get to see the knockout. And that was my fault. That was my fault for looking at it like, oh, this is boring. I'll forget this fight. That was my fault. Should have, I should have been, paying attention to the whole thing. But the only time we had to do that, we still have to do it. We have to do that when Deontay Wilder fight. We had to do it when Mike Tyson fought. But there's certain fighters you always got to pay attention to every little thing they do. What was he doing? So, yeah. But I put that down there too, though, because I put. I'm sitting here yawning and stuff. Gil Cole, salute to you. He says, "Sup, Eagles Web." Yeah, the game was good. I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily believe in them because I be thinking it's like, I know it's some kind of setup, But I think the winner wasn't really supposed to be the winner. But like I said, I got to wear. But Gil Coles, I got to wear my shirt. I get to wear my shirt 3 out of 4 years, man. I get to wear my shirt. I told you I was gonna be. I told everybody I said I was gonna be a winner. I said I get to wear my shirt 3 out of 4 years, man. Most people don't get to wear theirs. I mean, you can wear it anytime you want to. But what I'm saying, most people haven't been in the Super Bowl like that. And that's a young man too. That Mahomes played injured, so uh, it's a good thing that the 49ers didn't make it. Good thing. That we had the best choice for the Super Bowl. That was, believe me, Eagles versus KC Chiefs. So that was the best case scenario right there, man, because it it would have been. I can't even explain. I said it would probably be like 75-10. It would have been it would have been ridiculous, the amount of points that Kansas City would have just ran up on San Francisco. And believe me, they don't stop running points up on you. It might have been the first time, and they didn't talk about this, Gil Cole, is it might have been the first time in history, at least I can't remember, that every series Kansas City scored on. Every series in the second half you score on? Every series? Now that might have happened, but it might not have been, they might not have, other teams might not have had that many series. You might have only had 2 or 3 series. But every series they scored on. Like, are we scoring? You imagine, if you're on the other side and they're telling you that we're scoring, what do you do? But I heard a lot of like post show. They were blaming a lot of the loss on the coaches and stuff like that. But a lot of times Super Bowl you play tight, but you still sometimes you have to play a little bit loose too, though. And the thing about it, like they said, I heard a good comment that somebody was saying that in any football game that there could be, you know, a call on every play, which is probably true. Because if you think about it, offensively and defensively, that you had to be professional and you had to be poised at every second before and after the snap. You got to watch illegal hits, feet, knees, elbows, grabs. You have to, just watch every little thing. Now, people were complaining about the pass interference with about, 4 minutes or something left? Close to 3, maybe 3, maybe high 3 minutes left. But for me, I was thinking, I said, Mahomes is going to get it first. They're driving. Think about this. That they scored on every possession in the second half. So no matter what was going to happen, they was going to get some yards. Even if they didn't get as many, they was already in. They were in field goal range. Maybe long field goal, but they was in field goal range. Of course, Mahomes is just a great quarterback too, though. So. Yeah, Chiefs couldn't get a touchdown on us in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Where were you guys at this year? Oh, okay. But anyway, this was probably old to them. Like I said, Gil, I don't necessarily trust that everything is legitimate. Sorry. Oh, Eagle, there you go again. I don't really trust that everything's legitimate. So even in this win, I mean, I could take it just so I can, wear my shirt and brag and all that. But it might have been, I'll put it this way. I saw it coming, But a lot of people had me scared because of the Eagles. But I said, shit, I win either way. I said, I'm still gonna win. I said, my name is Eagle. I said, so I'm still winning. I said, whether my family team win or the Eagles win, I said I win. I won already the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was Chiefs and Eagles. I win either way. Either way, I was winning. Either way, I was going to win. You know? Yeah. Gil Coles is putting out hate. He putting out hate mail right now. He said Mahomes is going to have a short career. He's just putting the hate mail out on Mahomes. Mahomes is very smart, and even if he did have a short career, he's going to probably he's probably going to get a gold jacket. Probably going to get a gold jacket, and whereas the guy that they say is the GOAT as far as quarterbacks, to me, he's not. He would never the GOAT to me. And I'm sorry, because the thing is, my eyes, I see things. My eyes are open, so there's certain things that I see, and I can't unsee them. Once I see it, I can't unsee it. There's been some Super Bowls in a row where I couldn't unsee stuff. Now, this one was harder to, if it was a staged game, it was harder to see if it was staged. Except for with the defense on the Eagle side, and maybe the call that a lot of people think should have been a no call. I think if the quarterback sees it and it looks too blatant or whatever, and the quarterback sees it and he's like doing like this to the ref, like, what? You ain't gonna. Then a lot of times they call that. Not, and I'm not even gonna say quarterback. If you're a prominent player and you see stuff too much, and a lot of times you have a pretty decent relationship with the refs. You guys don't like each other that much, but you guys respect each other. And a lot of times certain players can get calls, just like in basketball, in any sport. Certain players can get calls or whatever. A lot of I tell you what, so when you watch the O'Shaquie fight, right, there was a lot of getting away with hitting him behind the back. And and one thing I want to say is that I will give a little bit of a shout, not a lot, but I will give a little bit of shout out to Vargas. So I will give him a little bit of a shout out, not much, but I give him some. He said that the refs, that the judges, that they saw it one way, and they, and he wasn't really trying to emphasize that he won, because in my estimation, when I saw him, for me, maybe not for you, but for me, it looked like he was getting hurt throughout that whole fight. And I feel that if O'Shaquie would have turned it up, I think it would have probably been over with. In other words, so if Foster would have turned it up, I think he could have got that knockout if he would have turned it up, because I know he was hurting him, because Vargas was fighting he was fighting to survive for the most part. He had some glimpses of, oh, this is what I can do, but no, dude, you fighting like you trying to survive, man. You didn't really want that smoke like that. And that's for what I saw. Now, you guys might have saw something else, but I'm just telling you what I saw. What I saw is that this guy did not look like, he did not look like he was really like going for the W. Like, I'm going for this win. It just didn't look like it, So, but it was a good fight, though. I told Derek Bailey on my IG, I said, man, the Mexican judge hated Vargas. I said he hated him because he would only give but one round. He gave him one round. He's like, you ain't getting no more one round. You're not so. I don't know. Mexican judges are getting harder on Mexican fighters. Maybe can that be true? It can be, but let's think about it. Maybe they're getting harder on. Like, hey, you guys ain't holding up to the standard of how we're supposed to fight, the Mexican style and all this. And if you believe it, so is Mexican style? Is that all? Is that all hype? What do you think about that? Is Mexican style? Is that just BS, or is Mexican style a style that is used for journeymen and gatekeepers and stuff like that? Because when you talk about this Mexican style, I've seen Mexican fighters kind of fight like kind of a brawling style, and their careers don't last too long. Or they get in there with somebody elite and they just get moved around, and that's it's an awful looking fight when you're calling somebody a runner and you end up getting knocked out because you can't get to him and your face is all swollen and bloody and stuff. Oh yeah, he ran. Well, if he ran, he was running a gauntlet on your face at the same time that he ran because you're the one all swollen up. If you look at it, Foster had zero damage to it. I mean, for the most part, maybe skin tone or something like that. But he wasn't all swollen up and nothing like that. He had his faculty, his eyes, every round you could tell. Because he was like, yeah, I'm going to get him now. They said, yeah, just go in there. They were saying, go out there and F him up. You keep effing him up. And if you look at his face, Vargas, he was getting effed up. I'm sorry. They try to blame it on a headbutt or something, but nah. He didn't headbutt his whole face. He had both sides of his face was swollen up, nose, cracked his nose. He put some damage on. And I would say, my estimation watching it, that he was getting hurt by every punch. Kansas City Barbecue is trash too. God dang. Get what you got against my KC, man. I don't like that, brother. Florida Barbecue is trash. Now you getting me amped, man. No, Florida Barbecue and they oranges suck. Florida's oranges suck. California got the best oranges. Florida oranges suck. Their orange groves are trash. They barbecue is trash. Matt, they etouffee is trash. They gumbo is trash. Huh? Talking about Kansas City Barbecue sucks. It's trash, man. What you talking about? Kansas City Barbecue, one of the best barbecues you get. You got Texas Barbecue, which is good. You got Kansas City Barbecue, which is good. You got Tennessee Barbecue. They don't even mention Florida's barbecue because Florida barbecue really is trash. They know it's trash. Y'all don't even have no charcoal down there. Y'all got to use driftwood or something or sand. Y'all can't even use. Most people down there use what's what you call it? The fire, the grill with the fire, gas grill. I'm just messing around, Gil. But damn, Gil going in on Kansas City. Mahomes, his career ain't gonna be long. And Kansas City Barbecue is trash. God, they going off, man. Man, good thing my family ain't in here watching you. They go off, man. They went crazy, man. Like, wait, hey, hello, man. That's part of my heritage. Come out of that area, right? Yeah, part of my heritage come out of there, man. Oh, hey, I'm sure I might even move there. Who knows? I don't know if I move to KC. Probably on the outside. Maybe I'll move to KC. Who knows? Where should I move? I'm thinking about it. I really am thinking about it. I might. If I find the right person to move, I'll move. Maybe I go back to. I was always thinking. I said, you know what? I probably like shut it down and move to my family's home, home area, and just just enjoy myself. That's stuff I thought about. All the city stuff is just more or less get tired of it. Of not knowing what you're gonna run into all the time. It's like you don't go out there paranoid and nothing like that, but you just get, man, not this. Here we go. I avoid, because I tell you, this is what if there's certain stuff happening on the street, I just drive around. I don't even go straight through. There's places I go where there's always um, what do you call it? Somebody double parked, where somebody's always parked in a spot they're not supposed to be. I go play. Matter of fact, there's uh, a direction that I go that I hit the train. Matter of fact, I hit the train. I think about 4 times, or maybe 4 days out of the week. I run into the damn train, and it seems like different. And I choose different times. I'm like, damn. Every time I come here, it's the train that's coming through. I gotta stop and wait for the train. I remember one time I hit two trains. I hit a train going one way, and I hit the train coming back. And for me, that was like, I said, no, you can't. I said, you can't even make this up. I said, it's crazy how you run into the train that many times. You're not supposed to. I mean, of course, you run into red lights all the time, but you ain't supposed to run into trains all the time. And I was like, shit. I see my brother out there, D-Lo 404. He probably heard me mention his name. Yeah. Yeah, he got that thumb. He hit that thumbs up, brother. Yeah, D'Lo, I was just thinking, man, because I was thinking about how things could have turned out for me or whatever, but I said no, I didn't end up, no, I didn't end up fighting, so I end up military, and so that's that story. I was saying that the Pato fight was a decent fight. It was odd in the sense that for heavyweights they was throwing the first couple of they was throwing punches. At least his opposite. Oh, you said what you do now? No, you didn't. No, you didn't do nothing. I was just talking to Sir Flame, cause Sir Flame at work, and so I was telling them. I said, yeah, well, I said, yeah, I said, I was talking about the show. I said, you know what? To build a big forum, I said I don't mind. It would be good to have like big numbers. I said, but in here in our show, I said I don't think there's really like on in YouTube. I don't think there's really 1,000 or so like great or like really good boxing minds that come in here. And that's what I try to concentrate on. People that can go with what I'm saying, and I can go with what they're saying, and they have good points, I have good points. It's always a lot of foolishness, you know what I mean? I said, I don't even know if it's that many people. I said, but I wouldn't mind. I said, we could probably do like 20, 30. I mean, we've had, like, when I first started, we had like a lot in here at times, but, now it's down to my mods and a couple of stragglers and a few people that I haven't seen for a while. But I said, yeah, maybe 20, no more than 50 at the most in here, because I know it's just going to be, because I don't even want to respond, you know what I mean? Because it's just going to be foolishness, and all I'm going to do is be reading what y'all writing, because what y'all going to be doing is y'all going to be putting more or less, not verbal hands, but y'all going to be putting the written word on somebody's ass, and it's like, that's not really what I want, I want people to come through, different opinions, yeah, but I think it's pretty stable with, just the people that I have, far as what we talk about and what we come on agreements with, and what we disagree about, or what we're satisfied with each other having, different points and different outlooks, and it's better not to have somebody who's just going to say something that's outlandish or whatever. So that's more or less what I was saying, and so I had just mentioned you. I said, yeah, I said with D-Lo, I said D-Lo try to come through. I said Lala. I said every once in a while we'll get Mr. Gumbo or something like that. I'm surprised that I think who was it? Ronald came through, right? Yeah, Ronald Finkley came through. He said because of um, the algorithm, I was suggested for him to come through. So he come through. So a lot of people come through. I mean, this was the last week. So last week a lot of people came through that I just haven't seen in a long time. Mr. Gumbo came through. And a lot of other people that came through that I just haven't seen for a long. Jay Brown, I think Jay Brown came through. D-Ray, well, you know, D-Ray comes out every once in a while. He comes give his thumbs up and then he leaves. D-Ray came through, and there's a few people I just haven't seen for like quite a while. A lot of people, so some of them just came through, and so I was just saying, if so, just with that base, with just everybody who's actually ever came, and when I'm talking when I say that, I mean the ones that are modded up. If everybody came this modded up, well, not everybody, what 90% of people came this modded up, we'd have it'd be great all the time. We would have like great discussions, like real good discussions, because it wouldn't all this other stuff it just distracts you. When you want to choose, like people want a huge audience. Of course, I never was a person who needed like a big stage. I think I have a big stage in life because I'm known that, and I never would thought as a kid growing up, because I was real shy. I would never think that, and I actually became good at being a speaker, and they actually they said, yeah, you should take up a career of speaking, and maybe I'll go back and do that. Maybe I'll go back again for the 100th time, starting a new career. But yeah, I was told, they said, yeah, you could speak. But I was always like very shy. Not comfortable not comfortable in my skin, because my skin was irritable, for me in different ways. But yeah, so that was just my thought. I said, so it would just be, it's good, because I noticed I go to a lot of these forums, like I'll go watch somebody's show, D-Lo, and I had to hurry up and get the hell up out of there. I'm like, oh man, this shit. When I start, because I'm going to read comments, and so I end up reading them comments. I'm like, oh, here we go with this bullshit. And it's just like all the comments it's good, because even in here we come in and have fun. Like Gil started some shit earlier. You see, Gil wrote, he said Mahomes is going to have a short career. I said, damn, he's going off. And then right after he said, and plus he said Kansas City barbecue is trash too. He just started going off, but that's Gil though. That's Gil. And you're the one come in and ask what you do. But Gil's always starting some shit. He said, yeah, I cut up from time to time. But there's very few chats. He said where it feels like family. He said this is one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And you get, and to believe it, so to be honest, even like Sir Flame would tell, Sir Flame don't go to nobody's. He doesn't go to nobody's chat. He doesn't. If you ask Sir Flame, he'll tell you he don't go to nobody's chat. He go to Eagles Web. Sir Flame, no, he don't do chats. He just don't do that shit. And I think that's what happens is a lot of people that stick with me is they just don't do a whole lot of other chats. Like they'll listen to content or they'll go through, but they're not going to stick. They're not going to hang the course. They won't even stay in 15 minutes. It's like, nah, this is becoming bullshit. Because, and a lot of times, and you guys, and I got to shout you guys out, because you guys, even though being small, you guys clinked all that shit up it might have taken a year or so, but you guys clinked up all the bullshit. You know what I mean? We had another. Yeah, we had some subscriber. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, Gil Cole said at D-Lo 404. He put the 100 up there. Yeah. So it's thanks to you guys that we can just go through the process of chopping it up and talking boxing and talking life and talking things. It's because of you guys. It's not just because of ego. It's because of you guys. Because you guys are ruthless if you have to be. And you're not ruthless to that point, but you're ruthless because you're grown. You guys are like, hey, fuck no. You guys are like, this is grown. No, it's grown folks shit. He told you, especially D-Lo. D-Lo said, Ego told you when you came in that it was grown folks. And so I put 100 on that, because D-Lo be like, he said it was grown folk. He said, no, Eagle, he even told me one time, he said, Eagle, you ain't got to say no more than what you said. You already told him it was grown folk. So if it's grown folk, If you a child, get your ass up out of here. So its content is not for you. The discussion is not for you. We're not for your rhetoric. We're not for that. And so that's what I'm saying. That's why we became clean like that. Like, I mean, between us, we mess around and we still do crazy shit. That's because that's between us. But ain't nobody coming off the street to do that. Okay, so back to Peru. So what I see with Peru is he probably needs to. It is this particular fight. I saw what he was doing. I looked very, very closely, and I don't have the biggest screen. I think I got like a 75-inch screen. So I was looking very closely, and what happened with Peru is he was actually landing to the left side of the guy's body for the whole fight. He kept landing, kept landing. I was like, damn, I said that. I was looking at his side. I'm like, damn, his ribs and his abdomen on one side is turning red. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm analyzing. When I watch fights, I don't just watch, oh, that was a good jab. I watch, I got to see what effects happen too. I'm looking at effects. I'm looking at people's faces, and I'm reffing. Like, I said, that's some good body shots he putting on him. But Vicrest was pretty good stand up. He's pretty good. He's pretty good with the ones and twos. But he wasn't going to the body a lot. He was, pretty good left hook. When if he's in close enough. One time he got too close. He threw the hook, and the hook like hit way behind the ear. That was the best shot, and it was at the end of one of the rounds. I forget what round it was. If I'm thinking right, I think it's round 4. Something like that. But the thing about Peru, he was pinpointing. He was just pinpointing that body. And I'm like, I was watching when he jumped, I was like, oh yeah, he's just like, a lot of the punches are being deflected. I said, but he's hitting that body. Like I said earlier, I was talking to Gil. I said, yeah, I told Derek to pass the Peru fight, but over to the other fight, over to the Foster fight. And I was asking him, I said, through 5, I said, did you give Vargas any rounds through 5? And Derek said, no, he couldn't find a round to give him right then. I was like, yeah. I was like, right. I said, I couldn't even give him a round. And then at the end, on the IG, I told Derek, matter of fact, I should have asked you too, because you got IG, D'Lo. I should have said something to you too, though, but I had forgot. So my last statement to Derek, I said, damn, I said the Mexican ref hated Vargas. I said, he gave him 1 round. He gave him 1 round exactly. I can make a point of giving him some rounds. I probably would. I don't know. There was some. Well, even if I didn't give him more than 2 rounds, I would say that I could have probably made a couple of rounds kind of even. But this is what I saw in the fight. I don't know if a lot of people saw this. What I saw is that he was getting hurt with almost everything he was getting hit with. Look at Derek. Derek, I'm through with you, man. I can only deal with you on IG now. I can't even deal with you on here. I sent you that little quick message about the fight. I was like, shit. I said, it don't look like Vargas got a round out of 5 yet. But he was getting beat up. Look at his face. He was getting beat up. I think that Foster should have stopped him. I don't think it was in their plans to stop him. And I don't think he wanted to risk anything as much because he was winning the fight comfortably. But he could have knocked. I think he probably could have got a knock. If he didn't get a knockout, he could have at least got a knockdown. Because I was looking at Vargas, when he was fighting for to stay alive. Like, oh shit, I got to try to make it through. And you could tell because even his corner said, yeah, you got to go and knock him out now. You got to go do. See, it's like if your corner's telling you at the end of the fight you got to knock him out, that means you pretty much was getting beat up. Yeah, and that's what he was getting. He was getting beat up. D'Lo said salute at Gil Coles. Of course, my brother Derek Beatty came in starting shit. A little 75-inch screen, huh? Yeah, just 70. No, okay, the reason I told you that, D'Lo, because people around here, they just all brag, and that's all they got. It's like, oh, everybody got 85. I'm like, God dang. I said, I feel like I'm inadequate or something. Everybody got like huge screens. I'm like, I said, for me, that's all I needed. 75, that's big enough. Cause and then Derek's come in with his bullshit. What time does the show start? You know I start at freaking 4 o'clock, Derek, around 4. And because I don't have no productions team and all that. I don't have to be here exactly at that time. I said, but if I'm in before 4:20, I'm on time, brother. 4:20. Think about the 4:20. It's significant. But anyway, Derek said salute to D-Lo 404. He said salute to Eagles Web. D-Lo said about to start back driving. He said still listening. Okay, brother, we know how you do it. He said, yeah, Vargas got touched up. Yeah, he was getting pieced up. He was getting pieced up. So I know that Foster could. If he would have really turned the heat on, he could have stopped. If he would have fought some other rounds like he fought the last round, he probably got that stoppage because he was hurting him. You can see him get clicked. He was staggering back to his corner. At one round he was going to the wrong corner. But people ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, he was getting touched up. Yeah. But D-Lo said salute at Derek Bailey, and then Gil Cole said salute at Derek Bailey with the 102, and then Derek Bailey right back salute to Gil Coles. So here's another thing that I noticed, another fight. So with the Barrios fight, I had asked the question before, and I think Sir Flame answered. I don't know if Derek Bailey was even here. No, Derek Bailey hasn't been coming to see Eagle. But Derek said I had picked Vargas to win too. That's right. Put your hand up over your face. Yeah, you was wrong. Completely wrong. Matter of fact, Derek, you couldn't have been more wrong. The only way you would have been more wrong if Foster would have got the knockout. But you couldn't have been no more. You couldn't have been no more wrong. Even like I said, the Mexican judge said he didn't even like it. The Mexican judge 119, 111. He said you got your ass whooped, and that's a Mexican judge from Mexico. He said you got your ass whooped. And indeed, that was more of an ass whooping. But it was a patient ass whooping. It was kind of methodical. It was kind of a methodical, you're going to get your ass whooped in this one. And I think what happened is when Vargas was doing his homework, is he didn't realize then when short guys got reach, you're probably in trouble. If a short guy has the same reach as you, then the distance for you to close in on them, or the distance away from them, you have to actually be a little bit further away from them than what you think you do, because they always gonna touch your chest and body and arm. They always gonna touch you, and he ain't that much shorter. They always gonna touch. Think about what they gonna touch. If they're 3, so you take your head, for instance, down to here is about 3 inches. Down to here is probably 6. Down here is maybe 8. If say you're 6 inches taller, same reach. So you're 6 inches taller, we'll say 4 inches. So 4 inches taller. So all of this from the nose down with the same reach, this is what's going to get cracked every time. So right in here. And if you look at the fight, this is the area when you're fighting the same distance from somebody with the same reach and they're headhunting or they're aiming upstairs. This is what they're hitting. They're not going to hit this at all. They're not going to hit the crown, but if you look at his face, this is the area that was all swollen up and beat up and red. There's that same area. He had that line across his face, and that's because the reach was catching him. Yep. Oh, you said only because Foster had been off for a while. That was perfect timing for him. Because he even said, he's looking at him, he said, no, his frame is too small. He ain't got no business fighting. That's when I knew he was going to win, too, though, when he said, dog, he ain't got no business fighting me. He said, yeah, he's too small. He's like, he's tall, but his frame is he's too small for me. He said, he's like, I'm too fast, too strong. He said, it ain't going to happen. Vargas could not, bully him. Anytime there was a headlock and somebody going down, and then, see, Vargas was visiting the canvas too many times. For nothing. He was just visiting the canvas. He was like, more or less, he was saying, go ahead and knock me out. And Foster did not oblige him. Because anytime you on the canvas and you get used to being on your knees and on the canvas, you're telling somebody, hey, I just need to be knocked out. Let's get this over with. Stop punishing me. Stop swelling my face up. Just go ahead and knock me out. Okay, so But let's talk about the fight though, because I did ask. This was the point I got stuck at for a second. I didn't get a chance to finish this part. Is I was asking if so it was Sir Flame that answered the question. I was asking if Barrios is a undercard fighter on pay-per-view. Is he good enough to be an undercard fighter? And I think it was Sir Flame that said, yeah, he was. Now for me, when I watched this fight, you can see that he's headed in the right direction after this fight. I mean, we're not gonna start giving him high fives and shit yet. We're not gonna start hugging him and nothing like that. But the fight was more front-footed, more aggressive, and more, he just looks like he looked stronger. Because you remember Santiago, a lot of people thought that he beat Broner, right? And that was the conversation, that everybody thought he beat Broner. But it was just not, it was competitive and close, maybe a few rounds, maybe up to 4. And then Barrios just started, imposing his size and strength. And he looked real confident. He had a different haircut and everything. He just looked like, I'm confident now. This is what I do. I'm into boxing, and this is what I do. And he showed it. And I was like, you know what? I could watch this fighter. And and I'll mention this again, because when we first started talking boxing, I always told everybody, dude, people are always saying, yeah, we need to see the best fight and the best. I said, no. I said, for me, it was different. Derek, no. I didn't say we need the best fight and the best. I said we need to watch the best fights. Put together the best fights. Just put some fights together that are good. This was a decent card. A lot of stuff was unexpected. And here's my negative point. And you guys can come in if you want to, and give me thumbs down or whatever you want to do. But okay, so I'll keep it clean. I won't even say the culture. But people that are just into stuff for their culture, it's gonna be hard for you to live with yourself and to live with that kind of pride. Because I noticed that here it is in Texas, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Foster should have got 0 boos in Texas. And they're sitting there booing him in Texas. He should have got no boos. Hey, I live here. This is my state. I shouldn't be getting boos. And then you guys are holding up Mexican flags and you guys are praising Vargas. And he went out there and got his ass whooped. And then finally at the end, then they want to try to, clap a little bit. But don't be so biased. We know that about the Mexican pride and all that. But you guys have to realize that even when it comes to your Mexican pride, there's no such thing as a Mexican language. But you're so proudful, you're speaking Spanish, by the way. And so there it is. I bought it out. Maybe I shouldn't have bought it out like that. But because specifically that's what happened. But on another side, what happens is, my point that I'm trying to get across to you is, just because somebody fights for your country, you know what I mean? Root for them, but be classy about it. Other countries are classy about it, and a lot of times, this is what I like when I hear from certain countries. When you have a fighter in a certain weight division, and they have a fighter in the weight division, and they know that their fighter can't match up, they said, I don't know. They say, this guy here, he's just a beast. That's what I like. I mean, yes, you're going to pull for people that your neighbor, your friend, or somebody that you heard about, that, from an area that you're from. Yes, you're going to root for them like that, but you gotta be smart enough to understand that, when they get pieced up, and you stuck behind them. But at least, just say, I stuck behind him because that's like, that's just it's a hometown favorite, so I was stuck behind him. He might lose, but I'll stick behind him. You still got to know in the back of your mind, but don't get all so prideful, because they get so prideful. Oh, yeah, the Mexican fighter, he got robbed. They start come on. If it's a decision, they always feel like they got robbed. Stop it. You didn't get robbed because it was a decision. You got. I'm gonna tell you what you got. You got fortunate that it was a decision, because if Foster would have known, hey, I'm hurting this guy, and turned it up, then somebody would have got their ass put to sleep. Yep. Derek said he said Mario should have knocked that dude out in the sixth, like I picked. So what? It went 8, right? Was it 8? I think he got a knockdown in the sixth, all right. Was that when he had the knockdown? I don't want to turn it on because I got a smaller screen over here. I can turn it on. I got another screen over here. We can turn it on over here. It's like, and the reason I bought the big television because I thought this other one is big enough for me, but I mean, it's like 46 or something like that. But I had it for a long time, and I'm not used to televisions lasting more than a couple of years. I'm like, this shit ought to be burnt out by now. It should be time to get another one, but it didn't burn out, so it's still here. And so when the other one gets older, that will probably be that's going to be my monitor for my computer. I'm going to have a 75-inch monitor for my computer. And then I don't know if I'm going to get the 85-inch or the 90, whatever. But it sounds kind of intriguing. I might have to pick it up. Yeah. Yeah, he said, yeah, it was 8. Yeah, 8 round. Derek said, yeah, I got to get paid in my 6th. I know somebody said they gave, I was in this, when I was watching the Super Bowl, somebody, and it was in the chat, they said, shit, they made $10,000 off the win. And they were like, yeah, they was thinking about their family. They said, it's doing my family some good. Like, wow. Derek said they kept showing your truck, Eagle. What, in the commercials? You see someone in the commercials, Derek told me he said they kept showing your truck. I know, man. I'm a truck person, man. Some people ain't truck people. I'm like, but I'm gonna tell you one thing that a lot of people might not know. Is it most people? Oh, not the Ram 15. Oh, I didn't care about the Ram 15. I ain't messing with no Ram. I used to like the Ram. Ram used to have a tight look. Like if you go back and look at I think the nicest looking Rams was probably like the 90s, 80s and 90s. They had a certain look. It was cool. They had a cool look. And I think they had that Cummings in there too. But I don't know. I don't like the new Ram. They're okay, but it's kind of, I don't know. Ford is just clean. Chevy just looks too, they try to make them too cool for a truck. Like they try to make them cool, like it's cool. I don't know. I got rid of my Chevy. I had the SUV. Brand new one. I got rid of that one. Shit, I started having problems right away with it. It's just like, and it was, and it wasn't really problems, but what it was is that their service, their technicians are the type of technicians that will just go ahead and replace shit because they just can't figure it out. Or just replace the whole thing. No, I don't like that. A lot of times, back in the day, I used to think, oh yeah, this would, for certain stuff, you want everything replaced. And so, if something's wrong with your steering, like right now, if something's wrong with your steering, and it's just a small little problem, might just be, need a bolt tightened up, and they changed your whole steering on a new car, you probably wouldn't like that. Like, you can change my whole steering, because now, your tires and everything is not going to wear the same. Now you can change everything. All they had to do is tighten something up. But see, for certain stuff, like if there's a problem, like the fuel pump problem, you're going to change my whole fuel system out, like my tank and everything, fine. You want to do all that, now I get a brand new gas tank. So now when I get gas, I make sure I can filter it even better. But I don't like that whole replacement stuff. People just don't. They don't want to like learn to fix things. It's like shit. Just fix it. No, we ain't gonna fix it. We'll just replace it. Make your head drop right away. Like, oh, we'll just replace it out. Oh my, here we go with the replacement. Don't replace the whole thing. Shit, just repair what needs to be repaired. You know, some things you're happy if they like if you was gonna get a whole new transmission, you be like, oh shit, yeah. Or something's wrong with the engine, you get a whole new engine, yes. But certain shit you don't want. This, hey, if it needs a screw, just put a screw in it. You're gonna mess it up, especially when you got metal and plastic working together. Is nothing worse than because metal gets so hot with far as the plastic, and plastic is always expanding. And if you got something that sits inside of plastic, and it was missing a screw, it was just a screw problem. Don't change that whole thing out. Just put that screw in it, because I'm telling you what's gonna happen if you take that whole thing out. The new placement is not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And it's because of the heat and all that stuff. Yeah. Derek said, I know you get one of those electric trucks. Man, I'm not trying. That's $120,000, man. $130,000, $40,000, man. I ain't trying to spend that kind of money on those stupid ass trucks. And I'm scared of those trucks in the first place, man. They trying to sell me on that. I had a guy. I said, "Oh, that's a nice car." He had I don't know what it was, a Hyundai, a Kia, or something. It was a bad SUV. I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "I'm just too." I said, "I'm a person that goes out in the hills and stuff, though." I said, "It get cold out there. You running?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, they used to have small batteries." He said, "With the big batteries now that you can run the heat for a long. You can run the heat like it's nothing. It's not gonna drain the battery." I'm like, man, I don't know about that. I don't know about that whole running the heat like that. I said, because if you up in the mountains and you only got 4 hours to get through there, like a 4 hour trip, and you in the snow, you got to go real slow. Well, it might take you more than 4 hours to get out of there, but if it's like 20 something degrees outside and you got that, you're going to have the heat on, because you need the heat on when it's that cold. You need the heat on for everything, not just for you. You need the heat on to keep everything cleared up, like the back window. The sides, the windshield. You got to keep everything, frost free. I said, I can't see a battery just last that long. I'm just sorry. I said, not in driving too. I said, I can't see it. I'm still too skeptical about that shit, Derek. So, no, I ain't definitely gonna get one of them. He said, Derek, see, I go out to Cali and ride around and get stranded with you. They supposed to have a range of 330. See, and before I even read that, I'm already laughing. I'm like, Derek, hell no. Hey, brother, look, we can't push it. That's the part. That part right there, Derek, is we can't push that shit. We can't push it. So we stuck, brother. We stuck. Because we cannot push it like that. Come on, Derek, help me out. Like, shit, this heavy, because they just as heavy or heavier. And plus, how do you put it in? Do they have a neutral in electric? There's no electric neutral, right? There's a neutral, but I think if you're trying to push it, it doesn't matter because you're still moving gears. Not like gasoline. Man, F that, man. I'm too scared. If they told me that they had a range of 1,500 or something, then maybe I wouldn't be as scared. Because then I could take it out, like let's say for instance I could take it out in the cold weather and I can, have my music going and I could blast the heat and see what it's like. Now, if I took it out and it said 1,500 miles range and I took it out and I had the heat blasting my music going and after an hour my shit was down to half, I'll take that shit back. I'll be like, nah, son. Nah, this ain't gonna work. I said, because in this car, I can't have no emergencies. So you got a gas-driven car, you can have an emergencies and you're okay. Or you can bring a lot of stuff with you and take care of yourself. But how do you work on, a lot of you got to be, these people got to be certified to work on these electric cars. They got to be certified a different way. Man, I ain't trying to find nobody who's certified, man, in a different, a different way, basically. F that. It's already bad enough to take one of my cars to the shop when they be talking about, oh yeah, we're booked up. They booked up for service for like 2 or 3 months. I'm like, damn, 2 or 3 months? I said, forget it then. I said, it don't need the service. I ain't gonna get it, and I won't. I ain't gonna get the service if I gotta wait 3 months to get the service. Forget it. Said that, and that's telling me something about your brand. People ain't taking cars to the shop because they like to go, oh, I like to just take care and take my car to the shop all the time. Nobody likes to take their car to the shop all the time because, first of all, you get nervous when you take your car, even if you think you ain't nervous. You get nervous even when you go to get tires. When you go get brand new tires, you're already nervous when you go get tires. And if you're not, then you have never lived the experience. If you live the experience, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you take your car in to go get tires or something, like, oh shit, man, I hope just tires. All I want is tires, spin balance. And you take your ass in there and they start talking about brakes and something like that. Oh, how much? When they start talking about we're gonna have to replace the rotors too. And they're talking about calipers, rotors, and you're like, oh shit, here we go. Pads. Right? And usually when they do pads, they do rotors now. Because they'll tell you some kind of shit about the uneven wear bullshit. Which I'm going to tell you, when it comes to rotors, and if you put brand new pads on, yeah, the rotors ain't going to, I mean, they can, but usually the rotors ain't that bad where they're going to wear out the pads like that. It don't work like that. But if you believe them, that's what it is. Derek Giddens said, yeah. He said, yeah, that's true. Everything in that section will get replaced here. He said they don't seem to figure out what is wrong with the new cars much. Yeah, can't figure out the damn thing. Yep, Derek said, not even sure about it. He said, good question. Hell yeah. But the best thing to do, brother, is take out, I'll tell you what you do. You go rent one of them, and you make sure you got somebody that's riding with you that's got a car, a gasoline-driven car. Make sure that they're with you, and just tell them, hey, I want to go test this car out because I'm thinking about getting one, and then take your ass out there in the cold. And it get cold everywhere. It don't matter where you live at. And at this time of year, it's gonna get cold at least some point. You might leave. You might go out at 2 o'clock in the morning, but it's gonna be cold enough for you to have some heat on. Okay, get your ass out there and see what it do. And then when you realize that needle start going down, like, oh hell no, this ain't for me. Because if you get stuck in the cold and you get stuck in stop and go traffic, you in trouble. Because cold by itself, no problem if you're at home. Cold and you in an electric car and you stop and go traffic where you ain't get, where I've been in traffic where 20 miles took over an hour. That's not good. 30 miles, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. Whew. Not good. That's why I'm not a good commuter. When it comes to traffic, when it's not traffic, I'm great at commuting. But when it comes to traffic, I'm piss poor. Because I'll pull over. I said, I'm just go to the restaurant. Man, let me just go chill. I'm gonna go do something. Might as well just go to the mall. I'll go do something else. I'm not gonna waste 3 hours to go 20 miles. I might as well stay where I'm at for 3 hours and do whatever I can do, and then get on and then spend my 20 minutes on the road to go the same amount of distance. So I get home at the same time. I get home 20 minutes later. So I could have been here 20 minutes earlier. Yeah, but you would have left 3 hours earlier. Forget that. Come on. Stop it. Who does that? Yeah. Derek said, right, they said they look for stuff. I only came for tires, yeah. That's my whole point, is that they looking for shit, brother, yeah. But see, people that have never had that experience, like it might be a real cute girl, and you know she just, her tires is bald. Yeah, but they going to get her, though. No, I mean, that bad example. But it might be somebody who goes in there, so I'll take that one back, because they probably going to rob a girl more than they rob you, even especially if she's cute, because they going to think she thinks she's something. So anyway, so you go in there, and there's some people that's fortunate enough that when they go in, All you need was yeah, we just do the tires in rotation because they bought them in early, and they're looking at the tires. They're like, oh shit, they tricked you anyway because they talked you into getting tires, but they don't know. You didn't know that within a certain period you don't really need tires because what they told you is you're gonna need tires. And see, they have certain languages that they use, and that's what get us. Oh, you're gonna be needing tires. Well, shut up. What? Well, how long? Well, they say maybe a few months, but they're full of shit. You might have 15,000 miles left before you got to get tires. Of course they want those used tires because they sell used tires, and they're gonna guarantee your 15,000 mile tires for 10,000 miles for somebody else that they're gonna sell them to for $45. See, but you're not getting that shit. Yeah, but but you just come in for tires. They try to get you. They come out talking about batteries and CV joints and all kinds of other stuff. Then you think to yourself, I rode fine over here. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I got over here. How'd I get over here? You start wondering how did my car even get me over here? They had me thinking that one time. I'm like, this car ain't even old. Had me thinking, how did I even get in here over here? They're trying to tell me I might need new shocks and stuff on a 4-year-old car. I'm like, really? And it's a well-built car made in Japan. I'm not gonna say what it was. I'm like, are you serious? Freaking 3 or 4-year-old car, and you talking about that that you probably need shocks. The tires look like they might be riding a little bit wrong, because what it is, they see certain cars, and they see a price tag when you drive up. They see a price tag. Now, if you drive up and they don't even see a price tag, like if they don't see the, I'm talking, I don't even know what it's called, dollar sign. If they see the cent sign instead of the dollar sign, they're probably not gonna bother you about you need this and you need that. They happy that you came in to get tires. But if they see a price tag pull up in there, they're, oh shit, there's some money off of this. Then they probably gonna try to get you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just put it out there like that. But hey, that's it. That's what it is. I'm sorry. That's just what it is, man. Yeah, but it was good. It was a good weekend though, there. As far as like those was good fights, man. They would, I like these 3 fights that they had on there that for Showtime. I like these 3 fights. The reason I like them is they were all different. All these fights were different. They were all good. They was all everybody had a strategy, and it was one of these things where it was one of these things that we talk about all the time, where you talk about styles make fights or styles make no fight. That's exactly what it was. So when it came to the Foster fight, the style made no fight. It was no fight because of the style and the power. It's like you're shorter than me, you got the same reach, and you're clipping me at any moment. There's just too much. Barrios is just, styles and strength. And then when it came to Peru is he just looked like he was, he's another one of those type of fighters where you feel like you're doing good against. But I was looking, like I said, I looked at the work that he was doing. The work that he was doing was great. The thing is he landed to the left side of the body almost every round. Probably every round he was landing to that body. And then when he threw that little hook, the damage was already setting up. The damage was already done. It's almost like you sitting there like something swelling up on you. And then all of a sudden here comes that needle, like pop. And that's what happened, is that his whole side was looking. I said, damn, his side is red. And it didn't look like Pedro was doing that much, but you see his side was, but he was like the 1-2 fighter, just like Bivol. He was like the 1-2 fighter, and got off a nice hook behind the ear. But that body was getting, I seen that whole side was turning red. I said, he's getting clipped. That body is getting worn out. And then finally caught him. And then when he finally caught him, it didn't look like it was as much. But he must have some power, because he clipped him. He didn't even know what to do. His body had a shutdown. Derek said to the body, yeah, his body had that shutdown. He started to do the Harlem Shake. He just He took the shot, and then just took a standing. He took his own standing 8 count, but was just standing there like with no thought process. You can't take your own standing 8 count. He's like this, like, what happened? And Prater was like, okay, well, you take these then, uppercut and hit him. I'm like, man, he could have hurt that guy. Good thing the ref stopped in because he would have this guy Vikhurst would have got hurt real bad because you're standing there with one of the rules is protect yourself at all times, and he by no means necessary was he even trying to get close to protecting himself. So that was a good stoppage. He could have stopped it earlier. He should have stopped it after he saw that he was non-responsive. When somebody gives their own self a standing 8 count, it's time to stop the damn fight. Yep, Derek said, yeah, if you keep hitting the same spot after a while, they break down. Yeah, that's what happened, man. He broke that side down, man. He was working on his side. I watched it. I was watching it this morning. I was like, yeah. I said he worked that side over. That whole side was red. But yeah, but anytime Derek, when somebody give themselves a standing 8, it's time to stop it, man. I'm gonna just give myself a standing 8. Remember AJ used to give his own self standing 8 counts and shit. AJ gave himself a standing 8 count against Takhum. That's when I knew it was bullshit. Yeah, that's when I knew it was bullshit, man. He gave his own self a standing 8. But Derek, guess what? Your late ass is just too late, man. You just too late, brother. It's already after 6. But yeah, that shit yeah. Anthony Joshua, in more than one fight, used to give his own self standing 8. You can't give yourself a standing 8. That's you trying to. if the ref can't put on gloves and fight, then you can't be a ref. You can't put on the bow tie and give yourself a standing 8. I'm gonna hold over, ref. You take my side, and I'm gonna take your side. I'm gonna give myself a standing 8 right now. Just bear with me. Let me give myself this standing 8. One. You might not see the hands. You might not see the hands go out like 3. You might not see this. You might not see that, but in the mind is doing that. Anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. Derek Beatty, start getting your ass here on time. Check back more than once if I'm a couple of seconds behind your schedule, behind my 4 o'clock schedule. Stop playing with me. But y'all know what it is. No matter what day it is in Eagles Wear Boxing, there's always blessings. Shout out to D-Lo on his drive. Drive safe, D-Lo, on your way home. Shout out to my brother Gil, also Surf Flame. And the couple of more y'all that I saw sneaking in here, just drop down and say hello every once in a while. You know, I may have to get some other people up in here. I always say that, but we're going into a new year for as like a new season, you know, for dancing and all that. And a lot of the brothers, they like they love boxing, so I may invite them and stuff. But the only thing they might distract, you know, they might start asking about other shit. Oh, when's the next powwow or something like that? I'm like, man, this ain't the forum for that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but you already know, it's always the same, man. There's always peace, always blessings. And I appreciate you other people that came through and gave me all the thumbs up, man. Much love to everybody out there. You guys take care of yourself. Derek Beatty said, yeah. Derek said, peace, family. D-Lo got the peace sign up, of course. Always, brother. Yeah, we take care, man. You know, I'll catch y'all, man.